let's judge these banned cards and see if they're worthy of being pulled off the list or not. Hey there everyone, and welcome back to an ongoing series where we take a look at Yu-Gi-Oh's TCG ban list and discuss whether or not any of the cards can come off of it, with or without changes. So, like usual, before we begin, we will go ahead and take a look at last week's comments, which Tenebrae 17 talked about all 4 of them, I believe. Yeah. So Utopic Zexal and Azathoth have very similar abilities, going down to being able to shut down the opponent's ability to play. Yeah, I did look at that. Made to your own turn to completely turn off destructive monster effects. Yeah. Use can ban, however, was the ability to make it on the opponent with the Phantom Knight. Rank up. Okay. Yeah, so if there was going to be any changes, it would have to be a complete and total. I wouldn't say a retrain, because typically when they do retrains, they make them better-ish, and not much out of a problem. Honestly, I think with them, like I said, that they would have to be a dumbed-down version. We could probably chuck Rango Miniad in there and be like, here, the training days for Utopic Zexal and Rango Miniad. But, I don't know. This is just spitballing. Azathoth, as I said, they made a card that was too powerful to the point where they didn't even get to anywhere near Cthulhu levels. So, yeah. Galaxy Eyes, Dark Matter Dragons. Main issue wasn't the banish, it was dumping 3 dragons. Yeah, that too. There's a cost, so effect negation can't stop that when a great many. Yeah. Yeah, it depends. It doesn't honestly matter which dragon archetype, which archetype of dragons you use. It just, yeah. It would honestly have to be like, okay, you can't dump dragons into the graveyard. The dragons would have to be banished instead, now I think about it. Diablosis, the Mind Hacker, had a few problems once Catch-Tier was around to facilitate. Targeted extra deck rip. Yeah. Furthermore, this built their extra deck differently, including being forced to include additional copies of key combo pieces to not lose outright. Yeah. Furthermore, the secondary banish from the deck contributed to Catch-Tier's banish. Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure if there's anything that can be done for Mind Hacker. So, yeah. Anyways, so today we're going to take a look at the next set of cards. And so, let's begin with Perform Age plus Fire. So, Perform Age plus Fire is a 4-star fire spellcaster pendulum effect monster, and I believe is the only one of the very few or the only pendulum monsters on the ban list. It has a scale of 5, and its pendulum scale effect is if a Perform Age monster you control is destroyed by battle or a card effect, you can special summon this card from your pendulum zone, then take 500 damage. You can only use this effect of Perform Mage plus Fire once per turn. And its on-field monster zone effect is if this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effects, you can special summon one Perform Mage monster from your hand or deck except for itself. So the reason why it got banned, mainly, I believe, was due to its on-field monster effect outside of the pendulum zone. Wasn't specified by looking at it as to where it had to be destroyed by battle or card effects. Meaning if it was in the pendulum zone and it was destroyed by a card effect, the effect of special summoning the Performage monster could still kick off by the way that I'm reading it. So, could this card come back? Well, I mean, considering it's going to be getting a retrain pretty damn soon, or it already has it coming out. No, we don't need the original as well. There are incidents where like the retrains are completely garbage. For example, Ring of Destruction is just absolute trash in its latest retrain. I believe the upcoming one is actually much better in its effect. So we don't need the original Plush Fire to come back. So yeah. Now, time for card number 2, which is Phoenixian Cluster Amaryllis. And this card is a level 8 fire plant effect monster. And its effect is this card cannot be special summoned except with its own effect or with Phoenixian Seed. If this card attacks, it is destroyed after damage calculation. If this card you control is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, inflict 800 damage to your opponent. During your end phase, you can remove from play one plant-type monster from your graveyard to special summon this card from your graveyard in defense position. Yeah, that's just a cluttering of words. So yeah. The reason why Cluster Amaryllis was banned was that it could combo in with one of the Link monsters. Let's see, which Link monster was it? It was one of the Link monsters that Topological Bomber Dragon. And it just could be brought back multiple times to the point where you OTK'd your opponent. And the card itself also does not have any once per turn effects attached to it. So could this card come back? Well, honestly, I think it could, considering I believe Topological Bomber Dragon is banned right now. Let's see. I think it is. Let me quickly check. Yes. Oh, that's Gumbler. Whoops. Maybe it's the one I'm thinking of. Okay. So, maybe, but it would have to have once per turn on its effect. Now, I think it's the Gumbler that was facilitating its effects. I don't know if it's Bomber or not. But anyways, could it come back? It would have to have a once per turn on all of its effects. And even then, I don't know if it would be worthwhile in playing. So, who knows? Anyways, card number 3 for today is Pot of Greed. Pot of Greed is a normal magic card, and its effect is draw 2 cards. Now, back when the game started, this really just helped you move the game a little bit, but it wasn't that strong. But as the game moved on, some of the older cards either lost its strength, like a grand number of the normal monsters lost strength to the effect monsters. Some of them came back due to it having some stipulation as to being able to contribute to different combos. But Pot of Greed and some of the other drawing cards contributed probably the most, considering there were cards that activate upon drawing. So that was, I believe, other than card economy, I believe that might have been the main reason why the original drawing card was banned. So yeah. Now, could Pot of Greed come back? 90+% of the decks right now, not an exact number, mind you, can just summon most of their deck out. Even something that doesn't special summon specifically, Flow, does that already if it can start the combo. One thing that Pot of Greed could do is help facilitate it a little bit, which is probably why they made cards like Allure of Darkness, where the downside is if you don't have a dark type monster to banish, you just ditch your whole hand. But then again, that could activate effects. Whatever. Could it come back? It would have to have a stipulation, an errata to where card effects are negated from drawing. That's the only thing I can think of outside of that. Like, it would have to be like a flavor of the... It would have to depend on like what's like top right then there, and if it could really affect it or not. But whatever. So yeah. And the last card for today is Prank Kids Meow Meow Moo. So this card is a Link 1 Earth Rock Link effect monster, and its requirements are 1 level 4 or lower Prank Kids monster. You can only Link summon Prank Kids Meow Meow Moo once per turn. If a Prank Kids monster you control would tribute itself to activate its effect during your opponent's turn, you can banish this card you control or from your graveyard instead. You can only use this effect of Prank Kids Meow Meow Moo once per turn. So the reason why this got banned, from what I remember reading, it actually had nothing to do with its own effect, but it turned the adventure token combo from a 2-card combo to a 1-card combo. And yeah, being able to do that with any combo is kind of yeah, no. That's really all I gotta say. Now, there are videos that show in depth as to why that is the case. The one I ended up watching was on a short, and it was a very small screen. So whatever. Could this card come back? There would have to be a stipulation where I'm not sure, but there would have to be some stipulation or some removal other than like maybe removing the second line of its turn, or its effect, being able to banish itself, which is kind of similar to the relinquished line using another card for its destruction instead of itself. So yeah. Other than that, I'm not sure, and I'm not sure if it can come back other than hitting the adventure token archetype. So yeah. But beyond that, that is going to do it for us this week. If you have any thoughts in terms of how 3 of those cards can come back, if at all, voice your opinions down below in the comments. But until next time, everybody, happy dueling!